Your partner rolls over. You wake up. Annoying, but survivable. Except 67% of people say a bed partner disrupts their sleep. 31% of American adults have already given up and moved to another bed or another room. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine calls it sleep divorce. And the ones who did it are sleeping 37 minutes longer every night. You do not need a $3,000 bed to stay in the same room. 3 mattresses under $500 fix this. And one more that's worth waiting for. The cheapest costs $229 and has a problem I'll get to. Before the beds, the mechanism. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it on a showroom floor. Motion isolation is a mattress's ability to absorb movement, so that when your partner shifts, rolls, or gets out of bed at 2 in the morning, you don't feel it. The opposite is what testers call the trampoline effect. Traditional innerspring mattresses use interconnected coils. One coil moves, they all move. Your partner turns over and a wave ripples across the entire surface and into your hip. That's motion transfer, and it's the single biggest reason couples stop sharing a bed. 2 constructions solve it. Memory foam is the champion. Its dense structure absorbs kinetic energy instead of passing it along. Hybrids can compete, but only if they use individually pocketed coils, each one wrapped separately so it compresses on its own. Pair those with a thick foam comfort layer, and a hybrid goes toe-to-toe with all foam. That's the whole game. Foam density, and whether the coils are wrapped. Best overall is the Sienna Signature Memory Foam, and it scored 4.6 out of 5 for motion isolation, the highest of anything in this price bracket. I don't run a sleep lab. I pull the scores out of every outlet that does and stack them against price, warranty, and what owners are saying at year 3. When the labs disagree, I'll tell you they disagree instead of picking the number that makes a cleaner story. Price first, because it's moved. A queen was $399, it dropped to $359. In 2026, it's been listed as low as $294, and Sienna discounts so consistently that the sticker price is close to fiction. Call it $294 to $359 depending on the week. It has not been above $400 in 2 years. Straightforward, all foam build, 10 inches, medium firm, 3 foam layers with 2 inches of gel-infused memory foam on top. That top layer does all the work. The test everyone runs on this bed is the water glass. Fill a glass, set it on one side, then get in and out of bed on the other. On the Sienna, the water barely moved and the glass didn't shift at all. One tester's description stuck with me. She said the movement registered as sound before it registered as feeling, and that when her partner got out of bed, she could sense the dip, but it felt like it was happening somewhere far away. A 180-night trial, which is double the industry standard, 10-year warranty, and fiberglass-free construction. Hold on to that one. This is the best budget mattress in this category, and it isn't close. Cheapest bed that still performs, the Zinus Green Tea. Memory foam, $229 for a queen. Against a $1,600 market average, that's about 86% below the going rate. And it scored 4.5 out of 5 for motion isolation, within a tenth of the Sienna, holding its own against foam beds costing 5 and 6 times more, including Nectar's premium line. Testers agreed a genuinely fidgety partner shouldn't wake you on this thing. For the specific job of not feeling the person next to you move, at $229, nothing beats it. Now the problem I promised you. 3 of them, actually, and they compound. Edge support collapses. Sit on the side to put your shoes on, and you'll feel the edge give out under you, which for a couple means you're both confined to the middle 2/3 of a bed you paid for in full. Durability is worse. Expect about 5 years, against 7 to 10 for higher quality memory foam. Low density foam, same failure mode as every cheap bed. It doesn't break. It slowly develops a trough, and one morning you notice you've been rolling toward the middle for months. And there's the 2022 class action regarding fiberglass in certain Zinus models. Fiberglass is used as a fire barrier in budget mattresses, and it isn't inherently dangerous while it stays sealed inside the cover. The danger is when the cover comes off, people unzip them to wash them, and the fibers migrate into carpet, clothing, and air. So, do not remove the cover. That rule applies to a lot of budget beds. It matters most here, and it's why I flagged the Sienna as fiberglass-free. 100-night trial, 10-year warranty. Go in with your eyes open, and this is still the right call on a tight budget. Just know exactly what you're buying. So how does a $200 bed land? Within a tenth of a point of the category leader. This is the part the Roundup articles mention in one sentence and then walk right past. Sienna is made by Resident Home. Resident Home also makes Nectar and Dream Cloud. Same parent company, same manufacturing infrastructure, same foam supply chain. What got removed to hit $294 wasn't quality control. It was layers, thickness, and marketing budget. That's the real reason a sub-$300 bed can beat mattresses at 4 times the price on one specific metric. You're not buying a worse company. You're buying the same company with the branding stripped off. Once you know to look for it, this is the entire map of the budget market. A handful of manufacturers, dozens of brand names sitting on top of them. Allswell is Walmart's own bed in a box line, and it's assembled in Arizona by Brooklyn Bedding, who also build Dream Foam. Those 3 aren't competitors. That's one factory wearing 3 hats, which is why comparing cheap mattress brands by brand name is close to useless. You compare them by who builds them and by what got cut to hit the price. Stop! Before the last 2 beds, there's a catch nobody puts in a headline, and it's the reason this decision isn't just buy the highest motion isolation score. The exact property that makes memory foam absorb your partner's movement. Dense, slow, conforming, makes it absorb yours too. It resists you when you try to change position. Couples describe it as quicksand. You stop feeling your partner roll over, and you start noticing how much work it takes to roll over yourself, which means the highest score on the sheet is not automatically the right buy for you. If either of you is a restless sleeper who changes position all night, or if you're older and getting out of bed is already an effort, then a slightly lower isolation score with more bounce is the better trade. Hold that thought. It decides the verdict. Best budget hybrid is the Allswell. A king costs $397. A king. The queen sits comfortably under $500. Memory foam infused with graphite and copper gel over individually pocketed coils. That gets you motion isolation plus airflow so neither of you overheats. Reinforced edges, so unlike the Zenith, you can both use the whole surface of the bed. And real bounce. Motion isolation scores around 4 out of 5. Good, not great. And here's why that number is soft. The foam comfort layer is thin, so it doesn't damp movement the way a thicker all-foam bed does. The labs genuinely split on this one. Some measured minimal transfer, others watched the water move in the glass. When outlets disagree that sharply, the honest read is solid for the price, not best in class. But go back to the quicksand problem. The Allswell is the answer to it. Brooklyn Bedding's signature hybrid is the best mattress in this conversation. It absorbed nearly all partner movement in testing, pairs that with pressure relief and real durability, and comes with a 120-night trial. One lead tester called it the most well-rounded bed at its price, and I don't disagree. It also retails around $1,330. You'll see it on under 500 lists because it discounts hard. But a 60% drop is not an event you can plan a purchase around, and I'm not going to build a budget recommendation on a sale that might not exist the day you're shopping. So watch it, set a price alert, buy it the moment it lands. It's the one worth waiting for. It is not one you should count on. The other 3 are under $500 every single day of the year. Cost per year, which is the only number that matters once you stop looking at stickers. A $229 Zenith lasting 5 years is about $46 a year. A $300 Sienna lasting 7 to 8 is roughly $40 a year. The cheaper mattress is the more expensive mattress. So here's the call. and it splits on the quicksand question. If motion isolation is the priority and you both sleep fairly still, the Sienna Signature is the best mattress under $500 for couples. Highest score in the bracket, a real manufacturer behind it, and 180 nights to change your mind. If one of you moves all night, or getting out of bed is already an effort, take the Allswell. You give up half a point of isolation, and you get back the ability to move in your own bed. For a lot of couples, that's the better night's sleep, and no score sheet will ever tell you that. And if the budget is $200 and change and it isn't moving, Zinus, leave the cover on, expect 5 years, and it will do the one job you bought it for. 31% of couples solve this by leaving the room. Everything else, the coils, the foam density, the factory behind the label, is just the cheaper way to solve it. $229, and you both stay.